All right, guys, so we got to talk about Hunter Biden, who has pleaded guilty to 3 federal charges in a deal with the Department of Justice. Now, this may come as a surprise to a lot of you guys, especially people like me who, did not think that we would ever see the day where the president's son is actually getting charged with a crime. Okay, justice is actually being served. However, we need to pump our brakes, right? We need to slow our roll here, because Hunter Biden is getting a slap on the wrist. Now, if you guys remember, Hunter was under investigation for tax fraud and also for possession of a weapon while being intoxicated, aka being high as hell, off drugs. And he's under investigation. That's been happening for years. And now we're finally seeing some action on it. And I want to react to CNN's reaction of this, because they're going to tell us what happened here with these charges and, what penalties could Hunter Biden possibly face. So I want to talk about it. But before I get into that, I just want to let you guys know, if you like my channel and you want to support my channel, you can check out my new merch. Like, for example, the shirt I'm wearing right now, Make Women Female Again. You can check out that shirt at my website, gforemanbcp.com. Get 20% off using discount code TEAMBCP. So without further ado, let's get it.
Really quick, sorry to interrupt. We have some breaking news coming in. John, let me get over to you.
All right, Kate, thanks so much. The breaking news is this: a major development in the federal investigation into Hunter Biden, the son of President Joe Biden. Let's get right to Kara Scannell for details on this. Kara, I understand there is a plea agreement. What have you learned?
Yeah, John, this 5-year-long investigation now coming to a head. We have learned from new court filings at the U.S. District Court here in Wilmington, Delaware, that Hunter Biden has agreed to plead guilty to multiple criminal charges. I'm going to walk you through this. One of these charges involves, these are 2 counts of failing to file tax returns in a timely fashion. Those are misdemeanors. He's also going to plead guilty to a charge of a firearm offense. This is the possession of a firearm while you are addicted to a controlled substance. Now, the firearm offense is going to be diverted. And what that means is that if he meets certain conditions, that charge will go away. This will be over a set period of time. Otherwise, it's the tax misdemeanor charges that he has been charged with. Now, this is a plea deal that he has reached with the U.S. Attorney's Office here. That U.S. Attorney, David Weiss, was a Trump appointee and someone that Joe Biden, the president, did not replace. And one of the reasons why he didn't replace him was because of this investigation. They wanted to avoid any appearance of political interference. I know we are seeing
too obvious, right? It would be too obvious. Now, when it comes to other, investigations and political interference involving Trump, I just got a hunch, that Joe Biden is allegedly involved, right? That Joe Biden allegedly is calling the shots, I mean, that's just my opinion, but who knows? I don't know. I'm just saying that it's funny because they didn't do it with this one because it would be too obvious. If he would have fired a Trump-appointed prosecutor or whatever, then what would have happened was that people would have immediately said, oh, well, you're trying to get your son off, right? So he left it alone, but he still got a slap on the wrist anyways.
More court filings will be hitting the docket, so we should learn a little bit more information about this. But this certainly does resolve a long-running investigation. And remember, this investigation had included allegations where they were looking into potential money laundering offenses, potential foreign lobbying offenses, and it had really narrowed over the past year, as me and my colleagues have been reporting, to these issues of tax evasion, or in this case, it was the untimely filing of paying the taxes, and also looking at a potential gun-related charge. Now, we also reported that back in April, they began negotiations between Biden's legal team and the Justice Department to try to wrap this up and resolve this. So here now there is a deal where the president's son will plead guilty to these tax-related charges. It is a moment here to conclude what we believe it will conclude this criminal investigation, but certainly it is not going to go away. There are a lot of political dynamics to this. We have House Republicans looking into the Biden family business. They have also been focused on the Department of Justice's handling of this investigation. There is a supervisory special agent of the IRS who has come forward, who has alleged that he believes there was some political interference in this investigation. And the Attorney General Merrick Garland has said that he hasn't. He is leaving this to the U.S. Attorney's Office to resolve. Also can't help be noted that this comes 1 week after former President Trump was arraigned on 37 counts of those federal charges related to his handling of classified documents. Now, we do expect that Hunter Biden will be appearing in court at some point in the future. The judge will set a date where he will come into the courthouse and enter these guilty pleas. So that date has not been set. We'll wait to see what the judge says on that. But certainly a big development here in a long-running investigation, but one that will not go away from the public sphere as the President Biden makes a run for re-election. John?
All right, Kara Scannell, in Delaware, the news, Hunter Biden has agreed to plead guilty to 2 misdemeanor tax charges and a diversion of a gun-related charge that had to do with filling out forms, Kate.
So let's stick with this. Kara's.
Yeah, so that's CNN's coverage. Yeah, so that takes us to Fox Business's coverage of what's going on with Hunter Biden, because there are more details that have emerged about Hunter Biden's laptop amid the ongoing probe in Congress. This is the actual serious stuff, right? This is the business dealings between the big guy, Joe, his son, and Burisma in Ukraine. Okay, remember, Burisma wanted to get rid of a special prosecutor that was looking into their company. Okay, and Joe Biden, who's the big guy, who's also was the vice president at the time, basically threatened to withhold funding, taxpayer dollars from Ukraine if they did not fire this special prosecutor who just happened to be looking into Burisma, who Hunter Biden was on the board of for whatever reason. We really don't know, because he has no real skills or expertise in anything, right, outside of being Joe's son. And again, Congress is saying that the Bidens got paid $10 million for that, right? $10 million, right? So we got an update on that. So let's go ahead and get into it.
New emails from Hunter Biden's laptop show that he coordinated with Burisma executives to set up a bank account with a foreign bank. Hunter passed along his passport information, his income statements, utility bills. This is all back in 2016 to open an account with Malta-based Sata Bank. It was later shut down after an investigation into money laundering the bank. Well, the House Oversight Committee reviewed an unclassified FBI document which alleges a $10 million bribery scheme involving then Vice President Joe Biden and Hunter in exchange for policy decisions. So, Doug, there's obviously...
Which, again, we have on tape, right? We literally have on tape Joe Biden talking about how, well, you don't fire this guy, we're going to withhold money for you. I mean, the guy is saying it out loud. That's how arrogant he is, right? He just admits to his crimes out loud. And the DOJ... Okay, they're acting like, well, there's nothing to see here, right? You guys are just making it all up. Okay, nothing to investigate. Joe isn't guilty of selling out the American people, right? Joe isn't guilty of taking bribes in exchange for political favors. This family got rich. This family got rich off the office of Joe Biden being vice president. I mean, they got filthy rich. I mean, it's disgusting.
A lot of questions about these LLCs. That's why James Comer was subpoenaing for bank records and getting a hold of them, which his critics had said he would be able to do. Right. I mean, he's really gotten a lot further in this investigation than his critics suggested, including the media, some of it.
I agree. And the interesting thing here for me is it's not just that he got the information that has come out, but it goes back to the investigations that were been opened here. And I think it goes back to the Durham report, which was in my opinion, fell way short of the mark of what it was looking at. But when you look at the Hunter Biden investigation, which is drug on for 5 years now, even liberals I've seen are saying, look, this should have never drug on for 5 years. Why or why not did the FBI investigate this or not investigate these issues that Comer is now bringing up? It is, I mean, there's been less information and more investigation started. This seems to be out there. You can put it to bed pretty easily. Either they did it or they did not do it. You can find this. Why has there not been any push on it?
Yeah, and again, going back to the LLCs, Rebecca, that's, I think, from a business perspective, that's the question here. Why so many LLCs? What were these businesses? What did they do? Because
they allegedly, right, was trying to launder money. Okay, they was trying to move money around through different entities to avoid being detected, right? I mean, that's just classically what you do, right? That's just classic money laundering. But again, all this is alleged, right? All this is alleged. All I know is that all these people right here got rich, okay? They all got rich.
That's fair game, I believe.
100%. I think any politician or, family of politicians usually are not roped into these kinds of investigations. But when you have some information that's coming forward that ties that politician to that family member to that activity, we have to see what's happening. I don't care if it's a Democrat or Republican, it doesn't matter. We can't have corruption in government. I know we do, but we have to get it out. And so we have to go forward on this, and we've got to figure out what happened.
Yeah, I mean, we have to say, I don't know, Doug, even the approval ratings of Congress have always been a little low, but anyway. A recent Harvard-Harris poll finding that 83% of voters, 83%, believe the FBI should make that 1023 document public. So what do you think about that, Doug? Do you think that that's a good idea?
Here's the question I have. They've said it's unclassified. They have sensitive materials. Okay, we deal with this all the time. At a certain point in time, it's not just this document. It's everything that's went behind it. It's everything that's come along and said, well, we have a question here. Well, you never answered this about Hunter. You never answered this about the family member. You never answered. And now you have something that seemingly should be in public. It's not classified, has sensitive information. Take out the little bit of sensitive information and let it be known. This is just seeming just a building on a cover-up, and I think that's what it's now doesn't matter what you have. It's either, it's perception is reality. My grandmother taught me that for years. My mother reinforced it. Perception is reality, and perception right now is DOJ is covering for the Department for the Biden family, and they won't put it forward, but yet they're very quickly to issue subpoenas and everything else on other cases, especially with conservatives.
The weaponization of the DOJ.
Exactly. Now, here's the thing, guys. Imagine this. Imagine if the roles were reversed, right? Where there was an investigation into Trump and Trump's family business when it comes to their business dealings overseas, right? Like Ivanka and Jared Trump. And the FBI/DOJ was like, we really don't want to release this unclassified document, right? We don't want to put this document out here that's going to basically prove that they were bribed in order to do political favors. We really don't want to put that out there. Do you think that the mainstream liberal media will be okay with that, right? Do you think that Democrats will be okay with that? What do you think they would be saying? They would be screaming at the top of their lungs that this is a cover-up. This is an obvious cover-up, and that this is corrupt, okay? They're trying to cover up for Trump. But again, when it happens to Biden, though, people want to just pretend like this is some type of big conspiracy that is made up, yada, yada, and it's like, well, it's hard for Republicans to really come forward and definitively say anything because it's taken so long and it's so hard to get these records, right? But the paper trail is there, right? It's clear and obvious what happened, and that our current president sold himself out, sold the American people out for political favors, okay? And again, he should be in jail for it, right? He should be impeached and removed from office, okay? And I'm at the point now where, again, I want to see some action. I'm glad we're seeing a little bit of action on Hunter, but I really want to see some action on Joe, right? Hunter is not in office, okay? It's nice to see some action on Hunter, but I really want to see some action on Joe, okay? But I do understand it takes time to get the information needed because, again, you're working against a deep state that doesn't want to go after Democrats, right? They only want to go after conservatives and Republicans, and it's a damn shame. Let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.